Hey everybody. So here today, talk a little bit about getting some bass bang for your buck. So, you know, 400 bucks is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. So, you know, I'm willing to pay 400 bucks for a bass that works, that plays great, that sounds good. And, you know, any day of the week, if I needed a bass, not that I need a bass, I have plenty, I would, you know, be glad to spend, 400 bucks for a bass. So it's not an inordinate amount of money. It's something that, a teenager could save up over a summer job, So I kind of came to that figure too because it seems to be what I'm willing to spend sometimes, just kind of arbitrarily, just throw money out, play with something. Maybe I like it, I keep it, maybe I don't. But so for 400 bucks, what do you get? So on the new market, you're going to get a Dean, a Squire, an Epiphone, an LTD, a Schecter, one of those things. And there may not be anything wrong with one of those. Ibanez, I've had some Ibanez's I've loved that I paid less than 400 bucks for. So while there's a lot of those things out there, and the cheaper stuff is getting better all the time. In the 70s, if you bought a $300 bass, you bought a piece of crap. I mean, everybody knows that. That's what it is. Today, things are a lot better. But for those things, where are they coming from? They come from China, they come from Indonesia, so what are you going to get? Instead of focusing on those things that you can find new, we're going to look at what does 400 bucks buy you in a used bass, right? So you have to look. You can't just go out maybe tomorrow and find, the bass that you want for 400 bucks. But, there's a lot of good stuff out there, and it's really kind of impressive, So where's that stuff going to come from? Is it going to be China? Is it going to be Indonesia? Is it going to be Korea? Is it going to be Japan? Maybe you could even buy an American bass for 400 bucks. So I've got four that I've actually paid about 400 bucks for. I'm going to be honest, I think I paid $419 for one. I'm not including shipping or taxes if I bought it from a retailer, although I did buy one of these locally as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to bring out the basses and show you what you can get. Alright, so bass number one. And what is it? It is a Peavey Dyna bass Unity series, circa 87 to 90-ish. That's the only time they made these. So this comes from the great old USA. This was Meridian, Mississippi, I believe, back in the day. So this one is this lovely red color. It's actually a transparent, I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. It's actually flame maple under here, very lightly figured. You've got this neck through with these stingers here, as you can see here on the back. So Unity series is neck through. Comes complete with the tape battery cover, as you can see here. So this bass is active. So, there's battery cover, right? So this one is, it's got a P, J configuration. It's got volume, active, or excuse me, an active passive switch. And it's got bass, mid, and treble. So this one's got a pretty nice looking bridge on it. I don't know if you can see that. I'll throw it to the camera a little more. It's got 21 frets, which is unusual today on a neck through bass, right? Usually they're 24. It's got some really nice inlays. It is an ebony fretboard, which is always nice. The tuners here are nice high ratio tuners. And I don't know how well all this shows up on the camera here. I don't have a confidence monitor to see what's going on. But it's a very ergodynamic shape. It's very comfortable to play. It's got this kind of body route, from my gut right here. So it's a quality bass. This thing sounds great. It plays like butter. It's got kind of lighter strings on it. It's got a really nice kind of high mass style bridge here that's very clean. So this is example number one. Again, I paid about 400 bucks for it. So, I like this. So let's get another one. Alright, now this bass I have had for quite a while. This is one of the original G&L Tribute series L2000 basses. So if you'll notice, if you look at the headstock over here, it says Tribute in big letters. That means it's one of the earlier ones. If you've noticed that after a few years, they weren't proud that it didn't say G&L in big letters, so now it's the opposite. What's hilarious is that these older ones have become more sought after. Usually you think it would be the opposite. So this is, it's kind of heavy after holding that last one. This is designed to be as close to the American model, they say, as it can be. This is supposed to be the American pickups, the same preamp, which we'll get into in a moment. It's not exactly the same bridge, but it's American designed and built somewhere else. And then the tuners are quality, but these are not the same tuners you would get on a USA model. I have to tell you, I've had a couple USA models. Other than the fact that this is about a pound and a half lighter and it's a heavy bass, not much difference. Somehow there is a little more punch, a little more, I don't know what it is, to those basses, but they're heavy as hell. I'm going to tell you that now. This thing here, if you play it for a whole night, this is a backbreaker. So, and this one, I don't know if this is supposed to be basswood. I've never seen basswood with a clear finish. I don't know if this is alder. Some of the newer ones are ash. So, you know, body-wise, that's what we have. So we got a maple neck, maple fretboard. We've got these wonderful humbuckers here that do all sorts of cool stuff with this preamp. So the preamp, you've got volume, bass, and treble. The bass and treble are not overwhelming, but they're there. We've got a three-way preamp, so we've got active in 2 modes with different EQ settings, and then we've got passive. Yeah, so there's 2 active settings, 1 passive. So this, I think, I want to say is a coil splitter, or actually I think it's series parallel on the coils, but it makes it sound like a single coil versus a humbucker. This here is the pickup selector switch. So you got one, both, or the other, or maybe the opposite. I forget which way the switch is going. This one's in great shape. Very little abuse to it. So it's nice. Not very ergodynamic. It's a big body. These are really nice tuners. Very nice, very quality tuners, very similar to a USA Fender bass. And this thing rocks. It is kind of the jack of all trades, and in some ways it can be a poor man's Rick. It can really get that gritty, trebly kind of tone. All right, so that's bass number 2. All right, so this is a recent addition to the collection. This is bass number 3. This is an mid-80s Yamaha BB1100S. So it is an active passive bass. It's a single 9-volt. I believe this is alder. It doesn't weigh a ton, although after holding a couple of those other basses, my left arm is killing me already. This one is a rosewood fretboard. You know, it looks like we're looking at 21 frets again. Something I like, the neck truss rod adjustments right there. So this one's got a P plus J configuration. The bridge is very bare bones. It's very kind of archaic looking. It works, but it's really interesting. There really aren't even saddles on this. There aren't really slots on the saddle. Well, I guess there are. It looks very, very weird. So this one is, I believe, volume, passive tone, bass, mid, treble, active, passive, and then I'm missing, it's supposed to be a white clear tip. This is my pickup selector. This one, I just put some new strings on for the first time. I've only had it, I don't know, 2 months maybe. Sounds great. Very, very nice. This one, again, tuners are very similar to American Fender tuners, that style. And they work really well. Weight's not too bad. Condition-wise, this is the worst of the bunch. I don't know what the camera is going to pick up here. There's all sorts of small dings and stuff. The neck's in fantastic shape, though. And then there's this strange player's wear here. I don't know what does that. I'm used to seeing, you know, the finger wear up here, even on the pickups. I don't know, is that a pick? I'm not really sure, or a thumb. So there it is. So again, mid-80s, 85-ish, 86-ish Again, paid about 400 bucks. All right, so let's move on to the final. No particular order. This is an early 90s USA, it's the only place they made it from, Carvin LB75. So this is their original 5-string model, active, neck through. And this one is actually pretty well pimped out. And to think that I could have bought this for 400 bucks seems laughable. I'm going to tell you, I pay less. Believe it or not. Not much less, but I pay less. And I bought this one locally. So this was a Craigslist find, I think. So this one is, you've got a couple of jazz bass pickups. I believe these are single coils versus single coil looking humbuckers. That's that you can easily get today. This one's got bass, pickup pan, volume, pickup pan, bass, and treble. I got this massive, massive bridge. 24 frets, an ebony fretboard, and Spurzl walking tuners. So one of the ways that you can tell here from the back, looking at things, that this is a 90s or so, is just, it's got a single battery. A lot of them have the Carvin Kiesels, they're now called Kiesel, have 18 volt systems now, plus they would have a mid control for sure. And this is the original bass that they produce. At one time this was like the only 5-string you would get, this LB75. Today Kiesel makes a billion basses. I've owned a lot of them. I haven't owned a lot of the new stuff in the last 3 or 4 years. They make wonderful things, and I think that you could buy this. I mean, this is a $1,000 bass all day long. With Carvin, it's interesting. The values go all over the place, year over year, even month over month. Because Carvin makes, and Kiesel made so many specialty basses that had gorgeous quilted maple and wonderful finish options and exotic woods, when people see a plain one, especially black, for whatever reason, they like, meh, whatever. I'm like, that's an American-made killer bass. It's got a wide neck, but it's fairly narrow. It's not going to kill you. You can't have a big chunky P-bass neck. And this thing plays like butter, as a lot of Carvins do. It is possible to get one that doesn't. Unfortunately, I've had a few of those, and sometimes they can't be corrected. It's kind of interesting. I think they're abused. That's the only thing I can say. But this thing's in phenomenal shape, and I think that this could be part of this talk here is crazy. All right, so I'll put this one back. All right, so to summarize, you can get a hell of a bass for 400 bucks. I've got 4 that I really like. Out of all of them, I haven't played the Peavey as much. That's a fairly recent acquisition. So I can't really speak to it, but I would use the other ones all day long and have. The Yamaha is new as well, but that's really growing on me. So I will post some individual videos of playing these things, different tones, slap, pick, finger style, different music, whatever I can do to kind of bring out what those basses offer. As you can see, 400 bucks will get you quite a bit. So, hold out a little bit. If you're willing to spend around 400 bucks, don't go out to the music store and buy the first new thing that you can find that is in your price range. Take a look at the used avenues. You've got eBay, eBay. You've got Reverb, which is awesome. A great place to buy stuff. Every bit as trustable as eBay. We've got music arounds here. It's a used music store. You've got your Craigslist, whatever. So take a look, see what's out there, and do some research, and you'll find there's plenty of things that are available that sound great that are relatively cheap. All right, see you next time.